Good afternoon, welcome. Join me in stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone, to this kind of somber occasion for us. This is Commissioner Adams' last meeting as a Porter County Commissioner. So, we'd like to invite you all to stick around at the end of the meeting. We're going to have a little cake and coffee and ice cream and those kind of things, cookies and candy. So, everybody that has time, please stick around after the meeting. Okay. You didn't know that, did you? Okay, first thing on the agenda is the approval of payroll for December the 15th, 2014.
Make a motion to approve payroll for December 15th, 2014. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. The claims, December 3rd and December 11th. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, at this point on the agenda, we had the appointments for the Stormwater Management Board, Stormwater Advisory Council, and the Sheriff Ethics Advisory Commission. Commissioner Adams has agreed that the people that are going to be appointed to those positions will have to work with the new incoming commissioner, so she's graciously deferred to allow those appointments to be made at our next meeting. So those appointments will be made on January the 6th with the input from the new Commissioner Jeff. Then, let's see, I'm going to deviate from the agenda a little bit. The redevelopment commission members, are they here? I see Patrick was here, and was there, is that correct? Was that show? You want to do that? Okay, I was going to, okay, well, yeah, why don't we do it, because otherwise you might have to stick around for a while. Well, okay. I understand now. Good afternoon.
Rick was not able to make it.
Okay, great.
And so therefore he asked me to sit in today.
Okay, we had conversations about a redevelopment area at the airport, and the redevelopment commission was working with the city of Valparaiso to try to not duplicate efforts, and you had a joint meeting, and why don't you guys take it from there?
Yeah, just very briefly, I guess where we are right now is that a recommendation is brought to the redevelopment commission for the creation of an allocation area out by the Porter County Airport. Working with Bob and the representatives of the redevelopment commission, we looked at alternative ways in accomplishing the same goals. And as you may be aware, both the Valparaiso Redevelopment Commission and the County Redevelopment Commission are looking for more time to join zoning on the entire area. So we mean this zoning within the city and zoning outside the city. Myself and Bob and Tom Kent, who is the city planner, have agreed to reach out to Tom Hoover at the airport to start working amongst us four to talk about the various aspects of where we can cooperate with the county in trying to bring in a development area there. I can tell you, since being January, the employees partnership with the city of Valparaiso, I've got numerous request information for possible development out the south side of Bernie, just east of Montville Industrial Park. So the goal is to work in tandem with the county, work in tandem with the airport board and the staff out there to ensure that we're not duplicating efforts. The city will also encourage different types of development that we don't want to see out there. And so I guess my request from the city's perspective is that right now, coming before you, is request to establish the allocation area. From my vantage point, it's premature to finalize the allocation area now, and if it's already hanging out there, I would ask that that portion be rejected or be voted on negatively, not to forestall that, but simply to allow us time to be working with Bob, working with Kyle, working with the redevelopment commission there, to put together hopefully a more comprehensive joint plan moving forward out there in that part of the county. It certainly benefits the county and benefits the city.
So then you're asking us for a motion to, how would you?
Yeah, I guess, I'll use the word reject, but I mean, reject in the positive, I would say reject the recommendation from the county redevelopment commission for the establishing of the allocation area, which is roughly
Good luck. Okay. And I think it's working really good. I mean, you guys got the memo with the blue shirts and the
Thirty more seconds of extra time. You'll recall back in January, looking at facilitating what I call the gold properties in the state operation. As you may have seen, if you drive by or you fly into Porter County, the dome is down, which is a good thing. I have all sorts of interest in that property as well. And so as I tell people who I talk to, that is the perfect example of county, city cooperation, economic development, probably at its best. Hopefully at some point in the spring of 2015, you will see work out there for the building on that property. So again, I thank you for that first step, and as our agreement provides for, you will receive a portion of the sale of the property there. So I thank you for being able to do that, and hopefully we'll benefit.
Wonderful. Thank you, Patrick. Not only will we receive a portion, then everybody's going to receive some tax benefits. Very good. Thank you. Okay. And now to the main event we've all been waiting for. The animal control ordinance on its second reading. Let's see, why don't we have you guys come up? I don't know, pick two or three, and you can come up as the presenters, and then we'll open up public hearing.
I wonder if I could ask a couple questions just to familiarize.
Let me set the ground rules first, okay?
Okay, that'd be fine.
So, if you guys want to come up, the animal control ordinance was heard on first reading at our last meeting. It has been published. It has been available for those that were interested to take a look at. In this portion of the way the reading works is that we'll open a public hearing. We'll have a little brief explanation of what the ordinance entails. Then we'll open the floor to those people who want to speak either for or against the ordinance. We'll listen to everyone. We're going to set a time limit of about 5 minutes. If somebody wants to go over that, then probably don't have anything we want to say anyway. So 5 minutes will be the time limit portion, and then at the end of that, we'll close the public hearing. The commissioners will make any statements they want, and we'll take a vote. So I'll hereby open the public meeting. And if you want to tell us, Patrick, why don't you just kind of tell us in kind of a synopsis of what the new ordinance contains?
Sure. So the new ordinances that we proposed, as you know, it's been about 15 years.
Try to speak up because it's kind of out of your heart.
So it's been about 15 years since the original ordinances were proposed to modify the trial operating ordinance. Ever since that came before the sheriff's department, we've done quite well there, but we're still having trouble with shelter assignments and the laws we're trying to enforce. So the last 3 years I've been with the park and I've been relying really heavily on the state laws. But this actually incorporates the majority of the state laws that we use in the county ordinances, lets us actually get these applicable for this position of animals.
Is there a mic there?
When the music stops. Yeah, you gotta get really close.
No, you're good. So we've been operating under, or I guess for the last 2 years, we've been relying really heavily on state laws. We'd like to incorporate the majority of those and actually have a bit more control over the process, the outcome, and actually the fines and fees and things like that. So the ordinances themselves, the majority of the largest changes come from, right now we have an ordinance that says a vicious dog is a dog that just makes an unprovoked attack against a person or an animal. So really, unfortunately, my definition applies to pretty much every fight scenario. So we've delineated the dangerous dogs, vicious dogs, and ways of dealing with those specifically. We've addressed some gaps in public nuisance laws, specifically It does allow us to establish a trap neuter return program, which we currently don't have in Porter County. Right now, the current rule is the cats are not allowed to run loose, period, which actually does not reflect the way that the citizens of Porter County are actually living. Our general way that we treat cats is that they're allowed to be indoor outdoor animals. There's a provision to create an animal control advisory board, which does oversee things like breeder permits and kennel licenses, and if any of those are denied, there's an appeals process for that through the animal control advisory board.
I don't think you need to go through every one, Patrick, because those people that are interested have gotten the ordinance online and have read it and are here to either speak for or against it and pretty much determine which side they're on and what they want to say. So we'll just go ahead and begin with those people who wish to speak against this ordinance. If you wish to speak against this ordinance, please come forward. There are microphones here, but they typically don't work too good, so if you'll stand close enough to the dais to one's turned backwards, we'll need your name and address for the record. Well, this one probably would be just as easy right here. And
All right, my name is Mary Ann Scheller, S-A-T-L-L-E-R. My address is 4011 Evans, Alpha. I'm a veterinarian, been a veterinarian since 1984, and I work closely with breed clubs and Tobacco Kennel Club and various other organizations, and I have been involved in the past on the Animal Control Board and various things. And I just found out about this new ordinance recently, and the things that Officer Keston spoke about sound very good. I'm not concerned about those, but there are a number of things in this ordinance that are both medically unsound and significant property rights issues that I think are way beyond what a county ordinance should be dealing with. The medical issues are, there are requirements in this ordinance that every single animal has to be spayed or neutered by the time they're 6 months old, or with special dispensation from a veterinarian, it can wait till 9 months of age. Well, there are a lot of medical reasons why people and veterinarians choose not to spay and neuter. There's a lot of research that shows that cancer risk is much higher in the dogs and cats that are spayed and neutered, especially at young ages. There's obesity issues. There's significant orthopedic issues that are worse in early spay and neuter animals. There are specific reasons why I, as a veterinarian, might tell an owner, for instance, to wait and let their bitch have a first heat cycle so that they can overcome some physical problems that are not, don't happen once they've had their first heat cycle. So lots of medical issues, but the thing that bothers me the most is the government is trying to make these medical decisions for the pet owner, for the veterinarian. They are thrusting these decisions, and the government has no business doing that. They have no business telling me whether I am going to spay or neuter my pet. They can tell me I have to be a responsible pet owner. They can tell me I can't have litter after litter after litter and let them run loose. They can tell me that I can't let my male dog or my female dog run loose and cause pregnancies that shouldn't happen. But they don't have any right to tell me what I should do with my property, my own personal pet. So that's my main concern with this ordinance. There are things in this ordinance that require anyone who has more than 5 dogs to have a kennel license. And if you have a kennel license, you give up your right to not to have a warrant to search your property. If I commit a felony, or I'm suspected of committing a felony, they have to go to a judge and get a warrant to come search my house, unless I have 5 dogs. And then they can come to my house anytime they damn well please and search my house because I have 5 dogs, and into effect. And it's a bad law, and we should not pass it. I plead with you, commissioners, put this on hold, we can fix it, there's some good things in this ordinance, but there's a lot of stuff that should not go through.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ken Rosenblum, Gulf Brewery as a resident, retired, practiced law for 30 years, taught law for another 5 or 6 years at Ivy Tech. And having read as many statutes as I have, I can tell you that this is a monstrosity. And I say that most respectfully. I understand that a lot of time and effort has been put into it. But it's vague, it's ambiguous, it has loopholes, it has things that I don't know what the standards are, the criteria are for enforcing it. There's one salient feature, if I can find it here. We pulled it apart so many times to, here it is. But let me just work up to it. If you've got 5 dogs or more, you're a kennel. And lots of rules and regulations come with that. I don't know where 5 dogs came from. I don't know if it's arbitrary or capricious to say 5 dogs, or if really 5 dogs has meaning. But if you have 5 dogs, you're a kennel. If you have 1 dog now, 1 pet in Porter County with this statute, then you have to have a no-fee breeding permit, just to have a pet.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Intact pet.
An intact pet.
Right.
You could give up your right to have an intact pet, or excuse me, sterilize your pet if you're then going to get a no breeder permit. But once you get that no breeder permit, there's a section here that says, such no fee breeder permit shall allow the non-sterilization of specific animals owned by the permit holder for 1 12-month period after the date of issuance and the birthing of another maximum of 1. This is so vague. I don't know if it applies to males or females. Allows non-sterilization. So you're going to tell me whether I am allowed to non-sterilize my dog. It's my property, and I have a 12-month period that I get dispensation for if I get your allowance. And what are you going to base it on, whether you're going to give me the 12-month period? What are your standards? What are your criteria for telling me that I can't? My 12 months are used up. I've used it once. I have to use it again. Let me ask this question. Has anybody spoken to any breeders? I've been a member of the Valparaiso Kennel Club for 20-some odd years. My wife and I have been breeding boxer dogs in Illinois, Indiana for 35 years. We've exhibited dogs around the entire country. We've shipped semen to Brazil for breeding. We've had people from Guatemala and Sao Paulo ask us for our dogs. We know about breeding. Have you interviewed any breeders from the Valparaiso Kennel Club? Have you interviewed any veterinarians? Where has this monstrosity come from? The Valparaiso Kennel Club will work with you. We're not your enemy, but don't make us your enemy. When you tell us that we can't breed our dogs without your approval, that we have to sterilize our dogs on a schedule and a calendar that you've established. I don't know what the purpose of this legislation is, this rule, but I can tell you, the breeders are not the ones you're after. The breeders are your friends. We put on the Valparaiso Kennel Club Dog Show every year for 20 years. Have you been to the dog show? Have you seen 600 to 1,000 dogs beautifully standing there, waiting for the show to go in the ring? Talk to us. We will help you. But don't come and knock on my door and say, I have to have a no breeder permit. Because I have 1 dog, 2. I have a beautiful male at home. Got both his testicles. They're not going anywhere. I got news for you. And you're going to tell me that I have to get a special permit to keep his balls intact?
this is a matter of great importance to me. I only saw it in the Chesterton Tribune. I did not see any other legislation mentioned anywhere else. I have a couple questions. What model did they use to create the ordinance? And were they people that knew law, who knew about reading and that?
The public hearing allows for you to speak for or against
Okay,
the ordinance.
okay. I have, well, mine were just general questions. The other one was, I noticed on the website that from item 6, it went to item 9, and I would like to know what is contained in 7 and 8, because it wasn't there. And I'd also like to ask the animal control people, what is the major problem that you're trying to address? I couldn't tell that from the ordinance.
Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition?
I'll use this one here. Ed Booth, 165 East Highway 6, Fraser, Indiana. I'm not against or for this ordinance, I just want some clarification. I'm a member of Fort County Farm Bureau, and the title says animal control. I admit I have not read the whole ordinance. I've read some, and I've had some publicity through the paper and so forth looked at. But I think there needs to be some clarification between what you're trying to do and the dogs and cats and so forth. We have farm animals, so there should be some clarification and differences in this ordinance, either admitting or omitting these animals that the farmers have. So that's all I'd like to see in there, have some clarification on that, relating to agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
My name is Mallory Rosenborg. I'm the attendance code. I'm the president of South Raven Kennel Club. We have quite a contingent here. I respectfully ask you to table the vote on this ordinance, and we invite you to any of our kennel club meetings. We'll be happy to work with you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak in opposition to this ordinance?
Are non-Porter County members allowed to speak?
Sure, we'll listen to you.
My name is Kim Smith. I'm from Westville, which is LaPorte County. Porter County's right next door, and I don't want to see this to go through for a lot of the reasons that everybody has spoken about. I have 6 dogs. 5 are intact. I have paid my tax from LaPorte County. I'm not considered a kennel, but my concern is I have intact animals. If I spay or neuter every one of them, I can't go to dog shows, which means I can't come to the LaPorte Kennel Club show. So my money's not coming to dog shows. I don't like this. I think it needs to be reworded.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good afternoon.
My name is Julie Hart. I'm in Lake County. President of Colbert, member of South Fraser Kennel Club, show committee chairperson, recording and reporting secretary. I've been involved with canine legislation between Missouri MoFed, Betty Trans, and the Indiana Purebred Dog Association. I also worked at Colbert Animal Shelter for 12 years. How can anyone in their right mind work in a shelter for 12 years and breed, train, and show dogs? Because there's a difference. I am a strong advocate for animal welfare. I do not care if you have fluffy poo-poo or if you have Best in Show Westminster. The dog is deserving of the best possible care it can get. The right to own a dog is a right. It is a privilege. It is not a crime. What I have read in this ordinance goes pretty much like a criminal out of every resident in Porter County. If you do not permit your dog if you do not stay neutered, you are a criminal. If you get your fees, get your permit, then you open up your doors for anybody, a animal control board, to come in and search your home. That's not happening in our house. It's not happening. I respectfully beg you, table this ordinance. There are a myriad of model ordinances available between NAIA, any of the national legislative groups, where you can get, copy, paste an ordinance that is super fit for Porter County. Fair to everyone, and is not going to encroach on anyone's privileges or rights as a citizen. Because I own a dog does not make me a criminal. Too much of the legislation out there today makes us that way. Tippecanoe, Indiana, a lot of the southern counties have gone under with mandatory spay-neuters. There's nothing on the books that proves that mandatory spay-neuter reduces the level of intake at shelters. What reduces the level of intake at shelters is enforcing the at-large animal laws. Your dog's caught running loose 3 times, excuse me, then you have a right to do something, because you haven't broken the law 3 times. Just because I have an attack dog at my house does not mean I'm out there breeding 100 gazillion dogs. Comment was made several years ago when it was walking through the shelter. And I suggested an individual in Porter County to be an advisor. But that's a breeder. And if you look at all the shelter animals, oh my God, they're like half this. I'm thinking, oh, but that guy didn't breed those for us. Breeders are your best friends. We know how to create them, we know how to stop them. Belfry Film Club is in a position to help educate the public. We can work with the newspaper, we can work with the animal control. Animal control is our friends. Because guess what? I do not want Joe Blow's fancy fluffy poo jumping my fence and raising my neck. That's not my golden one. Animal welfare, keeping people respectful, and I would really hope that you all could come up with a proactive solution, proactive ordinance that is more inclusive than exclusive. Thank you very much.
Anyone else?
Jack Rush, 114 West, 950 South College, and I am president of Porter County Farm Bureau. And I just found out about this last night. I'm sorry, I was gone over the weekend. I kind of scanned through the ordinance in there, and it's does not designate the farm animals. It has a blip in there about 4-H and a 4-H fair animals and stuff like that, but it does not designate. So the animal welfare or anything like that, if they wanted to be really off the cuff, I guess you might say, could be concerned about farm animals and what's going on at the farm. We have people that raise goats and they raise sheep, besides the cows and pigs, and it needs to be designated. I know everybody, and I appreciate everybody, and with the dogs and everything, and the whole thing needs to be looked at, rewrote, and something designated in there that you're only talking about cows or dogs and cats, I guess, and not any other animal, and it's not clear. So appreciate you looking at it, maybe go back and rewrite it and go to, like I say, to the kennel club or something like that, work with them and get it straight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Scott Lawson, Grand Avenue, Chesterton, also on the board and co-chair of Belfry Kennel Club. But besides that, I'm also a pet stylist here in Belfry. And one thing that I would like to see, there's in the ordinance talks about the animal care, and it's basically a dog is okay outside if it has a roof, water, and food. But I have dogs that come into my salon that are in appalling condition. I have dogs that come in that I couldn't tell which end was the head else in there about the care of these animals, not just, are they fed and watered? Thank you.
Got one over here, and then you next.
My name is Jim Lambert. I live in Pleasant Township in Southtown by South. I'm engaged in animal agriculture, farmer. I've also in the past served on the animal welfare board, worked with all, and dealt with a lot of these issues that I know that we're trying to rectify with the ordinance. But I'm speaking against the ordinance because I believe that, I don't know for sure, but I suspect this ordinance was drawn up without much input from professionals or people in the businesses of dogs or cats or the farming industry. And I think it's important when we do ordinances like this, that professionals sit down, like Diane Shelley, that she used to sit on the board too. And we need the veterinarians and the people that know livestock and people that know dogs, work with dogs. So I think it needs to be looked at again, maybe a board established like the District Strike and that, now we can get some professional people to draft ordinance, something to help draft ordinance. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Paul Greco. I live in Liberty Township. And I am begging the commissioners, please rethink this and work with the Kennel Club. The American Kennel Club will work with you. The National Animal Alliance will also work with you. I'm asking you, please, get our input. I've been in dogs since the 60s. I had my first litter in 1984. I have waiting lists. I do not indiscriminately breed. I breed when I've got people. The people that come to me want a purebred dog, a well-bred dog that comes out of health-tested parents. They don't want a shelter dog. My dogs are not displayed in shelters. There's a specific market for purebred dogs. There are still people that want them. My owners are well screened. I will take back the dog if it's 10 years old and the owner can't keep it. These are what we do. My dogs do not wind up in the shelter. So please work with us. I love Porter County. I love living here. And it's always been a wonderful place to live. So I'm asking you, please work with us.
Anyone else? Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Third and final time, anyone else wishing to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance?
Sylvia Graham, 178 West End, City North, Southbridge, Indiana. I am a pet owner. We have horses. We've had cattle in the past. And because this has come forward, obviously there's problems that need to be solved. And I think that what I've heard today sounds as if there needs to be more conversation among a lot of people to maybe rewrite or readjust or have more input into what you're trying to put forward. I think that what you are doing is needed. I would like to, I had an experience this summer of a stray dog running into my yard. It was on a Saturday, very busy. They were having a house auction next door. We were having a garage sale. It was just packed with cars. This dog wandered in. It was very frightened, coward. I called the animal shelter, and I was told, well, first of all, they said I had to call the sheriff. So I called the sheriff's department, and they were told that it was Saturday, and I'd have to keep the dog until Monday, and then they'd come and pick it up. I told them that wasn't an option. After a couple other calls, someone did come out and get the dog. I would like to see, and it may be in this ordinance, I don't know, but I would like to see 24-hour pickup of if a problem is occurring.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? Third and final time, anybody else wishing to speak in favor of this ordinance? That
rebuttal. First of all, thank you to everyone for your feedback and some of the clarifications about the issues that are concerning you. I do think that the majority of the things that we've heard are actually just misreadings of the ordinance or that aren't actually in here. And I'll actually go over some of those, specifically some of those concerns. We did use a model from Hamilton County, which is where specifically the breeder permits and things like that are in effect, and that's where we drew that portion of the ordinance from, which seems to be the thing which is most intention. The number of dogs, 5 specifically, actually is currently in effect. It is the ordinance right now. And you are required to have a kennel license if you have 5 or more adult dogs. The issue there is that that's currently under the zoning ordinances, the unified development ordinances, and they don't have the knowledge of general welfare. So, the state law actually doesn't kick in for kennel licenses until you have 20 unaltered female dogs. So you'd have to have a significant number of dogs for the state law to come into play, which is actually part of the reason why we're addressing this in the county ordinances, because there's a massive gap there to meet that number. So the current ordinances are, as I said, 5 dogs or more, but without having any animal welfare knowledge or experience or anything like that, it's hard for the zoning board to enforce kennel laws. So we're in adopting that. That's where we draw that number from. As far as mandatory spay neuter programs, certainly the pet overpopulation issue is the biggest thing affecting Porter County cats and other animals, cats in particular, and breeding. And we do need some way to compel people to spay neuter stray animals or their animals if they're going to allow them to run large, which is against the law, but still we do what we can to prevent that. Though we do in the ordinances give people the opportunity to spay and neuter their pets, it's not mandatory. If you, as a dog owner, do not want to spay and neuter your dog, you are not required to. All you have to do then in that instance, if you don't want to do that, is fill out a breeder permit. There's no process or way to, I guess there's no reason to deny those permits if you have a dog that you don't want to spay or neuter. All you have to do is fill out a permit. It's not something where animal control would then go to your house and investigate your property or anything like that. That's specifically separate from the breeder permit, separate from the kennel permit. So I think we're confusing those instances there. If you do have more than 5 dogs, then there would be some sort of welfare investigation there. Just to make sure that if people have a certain number of dogs, obviously they're keeping So the breeder issue, again, it's not mandatory, and it certainly does not give us the power or authority to search someone's home or do anything like that. We still need a warrant. Legal procedures still apply even if we sign these ordinances into effect.
Can I ask a question? If somebody is considered a kennel is considered 67 dogs, and it's determined that an inspection is necessary, that wouldn't give you free rein to search their entire home.
Not without their consent, no. If they denied us consent for some reason, or didn't want to allow us into the home, then we couldn't approve the kennel permit, and then there would be a fee associated with that. They would.
Is there anything that we can do to limit it to whatever's kennel area? I mean, there's no reason.
Well, it just depends on what you want to use as your kennel. I just used the home as an example because in my mind, dogs are inside dogs. And dogs, they're going to be inside the house. And that would be the applicable area. If you're using a specific outdoor kennel area, then that would be what we'd have to look at as far as whether or not the kennel met the requirements. But if you, so I guess my presumption there was if you have 5 dogs inside your house and you're designating your house as a kennel. But in that instance, if you say you that we have a lot of the extension laws.
Public hearing's closed.
Okay, I want to ask a question in response to his comments.
Go ahead.
Could he explain, page 24, F1? Perhaps, yeah, F1 will be fine.
The no-fee breeder permit shall allow the non-sterilization of specified animals owned by the permit holder for one 12-month period after the date of issuance and the birthing of a maximum of one litter per one female animal in a 12-month period.
I could read it too. What does that mean?
It means if you have a breeder permit, then you have for an animal, the animal does not have to be sterilized. The permit is good for one 12-month period, it's good for a year, and in that period, the permitted animal can give birth to one litter.
So that's a female?
It says female specifically, one litter per one female animal.
And what happens after the 12-month period?
Then you would have to reapply and get another breeder permit for that additional 12-month period. So every 12 months, you have to renew the breeder permit.
If I have a little bitch that's 6 months old, I'm not gonna sterilize her.
Correct.
I will get a no-fee breeder permit.
Mhm.
Then, within 12 months after I receive the permit,
You would renew the permit. Unless you wanted to, at that point, sterilize the animal, which would, then you would not need to continue renewing the permit. But the permit has no fees, so there's really no reason other than, going through the process of having a permit.
and why do you need that information?
What information?
The permit information.
That's to give people an option to opt out of mandatory spaying. We understand there are breeders in the county. Not everyone wants to be forced to spay their pet, and we're sensitive to that fact. We want to give people the opportunity, the chance to not participate in that process.
What's the reason behind redoing it every year? I mean, if they were going to then spay the animal, then they recall the permit or say that they no longer need it. Why would they have to wait for a year?
Yeah. That's a lot of paper.
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. That came directly from the model.
There's so much in here. I don't think you have the resources or the manpower or the money to enforce what you've got here.
Exactly right.
It is so large, it's like an octopus. You can't get control of
Okay.
it.
A little order here. I think that we've all learned a little bit here this afternoon, and I think that we should really re-examine this issue ourselves. Medical and legal issues that have been raised are pretty concerning. And I really appreciate everyone that came here to speak either for or against the ordinance and telling us their opinions. But this is really voluminous, I really believe it is too. And we want to make sure we get it right. We need to do this. I mean, it's been 15 years or better, and we've got a lot of antiquated issues that we have to deal with, and we don't have any guide, and that's what this gives us as a guide. And we really appreciate the offer of the kennel clubs and everybody else. And we're going to take you up on that and ask you to work with us and give us your ideas. Patrick, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to work with these people to get it down so it's plausible for everybody. I mean, if we do the permitting process, if we can make an arrangement to do it online, I mean, there's so many other avenues that we can pursue rather than require somebody to, you don't even have to renew a gun permit every year. You get it for life. So, I mean, there are things I think we need to look at to make sure that we're getting it right for everybody concerned. And if the breeders are 5 years by state, or five animals by state law, then I think that there's a template there. So it's going to be a give and take, no doubt. And I know you put a lot of work and a lot of effort into it already. I guess we just want you to put a lot more work and a lot more effort into it. being said, I'll entertain a motion to table the ordinance. Motion is second, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. We'll table it until, how much time you guys need?
I'll just give this by Commissioner and the county attorney, I don't know how much time you guys want to.
How much time do you need to work with the public that spoke today? Incorporate their wishes and desires, 6 months?
I mean, I don't see the reason why we can't strike the line that says 12 months and decide right now.
Well, I don't think that's the only issue that they want heard. I mean,
I don't think
you
it will be
can all
able
the
to,
concerns.
I don't know how long it takes to complete everything.
I would ask that all of you would approach this process in the kind of respectful manner that we're trying to approach you. If we're just fighting,
There is so much help out there with the AKC, with the NEIA, with Gary that have models that have been successful in other communities, other counties. I would think 3 months might be,
I'd
you
say
know.
6 months.
What I'd like for to have happen, if it's possible, is that everyone that wishes input, everyone that wishes to have their concern heard by animal control and maybe or maybe not incorporated into the next reading of this ordinance, please give your information to Patrick and your area of expertise or your area of concern, and we can address those things one at a time, and if we need to have more time, we'll give it, why don't we say 6 months from now, and come back with another version that would. So please give your information to Patrick today, and let him know your area of concern or the area that you'd like to see addressed, and we'll get back to it. So, thank you again. Thank you all for coming to be here today. Okay. Thank you, Patrick. Michael, we're going to talk about bid recommendations for a jail sewer project. Folks, if you'd like to take it out to the rotunda, we have quite an agenda to finish here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
So is everyone else.
Thank you.
Okay, Michael. The bid recommendation for the jail sewer screen.
Commissioners, at your last meeting, more bids were received for this project. Paper I gave you, there is a bid tabulation showing low and high. Brief explanation of the base bid. The sewer screen is for intercepting sewers that comes out of the jail. It's a 10-foot diameter pit. Inside that pit, we have a machine that screens the waste coming out of the jail. It's a conveyor, a washer, and a compactor. Dumpster that you can have your current refuse company pick up on a periodic basis. Base bid included everything I described, including heat trace, freezing in the winter time. We then did have 2 alternate bids. One was for a masonry building to enclose the area with heat, as well as a metal building as alternate number 2 that did the same thing with heat. It's been our experience that we do a lot of sewer work in sewer treatment plants and other municipal facilities. Either ones we've designed in the past or ones we haven't, that eventually a building goes over because the heat trace systems have been prone to failure. So in front of you, you have a recommendation letter. We're recommending a base bid, as I described, plus one of the 2 alternates, either a masonry building, alternate number 1, or alternate number 2 is a metal building system. The environment in these buildings will be moist, obviously, and from time to time the gases and everything that are produced from it does cause corrosion over time. Now, I'm not saying that the metal building would fail very quickly, but probably eventually sometime in the future you would have to replace that decision to you, and there's a case, it just so happened, the lowest bidder was Hassey Construction Company. They had a base bid plus alternate one of $511,000, and base bid plus alternate two, which is another $1,448,200. Happened to be low on both building options.
Questions? I personally believe that this masonry building will probably service a lot longer period of time as well. And I think it'd be easier to maintain metal structures. Besides, it's going to be fairly close in proximity to the existing jail, which is a masonry building. So I think it should be aesthetically equal to do that. Anybody else? If that's the case, then I'll entertain a motion to award the bid to Hassett Construction Company for the base bid plus alternative one, which is a masonry building at a total cost of $511,000 to be taken from the jail rainy day refinance. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Carries. Okay, quick recommendations for renovation of the Juvenile Service Center. After the roof repair, we found a number of things that had to be fixed.
Yes, there was roof leaks, which were a continual problem. We also eventually found a water leak up in the ceiling on the piping runs in the ceiling. We remediated all the area, tested the area. The area is clean, any mold or any issues such as that. We went out and solicited quotations from 4 contractors, and the lowest was received from Dennis and Son Builders of Valparaiso, Indiana, with the lowest quotation amount of $46,408.00. That includes repair of drywall, painting, new carpet, and there was cabinetry damage that we had to remove.
Question?
Make a motion to approve the renovation of the Juvenile Service Center by Dennis and Sons in the amount of $46,408 to be taken out of the account of the superintendent.
At 80 cents. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Is there a time constraint or element in this?
I believe if we give them notice for CP, it would start probably after the holidays, and be done in 3 weeks.
Very good. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Now we're going to talk about change order number 1, first in the series. This is for Mechanical Concepts regarding HVAC replacement for the 9/11 dispatch and server room.
I do not have that one in front of me, but pretty much the project is done. My understanding is up and running, and your employees are being trained on the new system. So this will be the only change order.
What's in the amount of $2,262? I'll take the 80 cents.
I'll make a motion to approve the change order of Mechanical Concepts for the HVAC replacement for the 911 dispatch server room in the amount of $2,262 for bill a total of $149,976 to be taken out of the jail rainy fund account for cleaning.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. So, that's it for you today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. You too, thanks. Office holders and department heads. Before as we get going here, Russ Shirley's going to be the first one with the warning siren bid recommendation, but I need to announce that we need to accept the resignation of Michelle Smith as the Memorial Opera House Director, and entertain a motion to appoint Trinidad Snyder as the interim director over there.
I'll make a motion to appoint Trinidad Snyder as the interim director of the Memorial Opera House.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. both of you.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
I have some big shoes to fill from my predecessors. Thank you for having faith in me. Let's hope it continues to be as strong as it has been the last 4 months.
Thank you, David, we sure. We just need to get a snowstorm to figure out.
No snow.
All righty, Russ, we're gonna talk about, warning siren bids.
Yes, did you want to talk the bids first, or do you want to talk about, the mass notification system first?
Let's do the bids.
Okay. At the request of the commissioners, we took the bids back for further review. We had a bid from Federal Signal in the amount of $320,545. Bid from American Signal in the amount of $265,300.88. And bid from ATI for $364,000. At the request of the commissioners, we did review the bids again, and it's our thought at this time that American Signal was the lowest and most responsive bidder.
$265,300. Didn't you deem one of those bids non-conforming?
Yes, the bid from ATI. They're proposing a speaker system as opposed to a siren system.
Questions? Sir?
My name is Linda Johnson, and I represent the Signal Corporation. My husband was the bid. We were clearly the lowest bidder that was in full compliance because we had the bid for the upgrade system. We were providing a fully compliant bid. American Signal chose to provide a bid that is based on requirements that we want, which is to make sure that all of the electronic equipment of one manufacturer. What they did was provide a different solution, it was a non-compliant solution. And with all due respect to my colleagues, they were perfectly capable of providing a proposal that met all of the basic requirements of specification. They simply chose not to be compliant. And I would imagine that was to ensure that they did submit as the lowest bidder, take care of all of the plans. So I'd like to know how this is addressed.
Well, to address it, that's right, reviewing the bids.
Yes.
Did each one of the bidders meet your recommendations or your request?
All three bidders had differences in compliance. Okay, and Matt and I both reviewed them, and I think as the Federal Signal representative suggested, American Signal is going to use the old equipment that was in the box and match it up with the new equipment.
I think the real question is, does it comply? That's with what you're asking.
Okay, does Federals comply in other areas? Because you said all three have different issues that don't comply. I just, right now, let's just entertain a motion to rebid the entire project and set it out, and if somebody's non-compliant, they're not compliant. If they don't meet the bid specifications, they're out, okay? But we can't say.
I know, it's been a long process.
You've got A and B, but you didn't get C, but you've got C and B, but you didn't get A, and then, no, A, B, and C are necessary, that's it. You just told me you were not.
It's a minor point, that we only received one copy.
We're gonna do it for one, we're gonna do it for everybody, so let's, okay, back to square one, if you're doing.
Okay, sir. Do you want to talk about the,
Yes.
I looked at mass notification, we've got a few, generic quotes from people with probation. To start off, the system, we're looking at about $40,000, annual renewals will be right around $35,000. This will use imported data from our 911 centers, so we would have access to reverse 911 calling if we needed to. It'll allow our patrons in the community to sign up for certain alerts for certain communities and zip codes. It'll also give us a chance to send up the iPause warnings, which is integrated into every cell phone. If we have a tornado warning, or if we have a state of emergency, or we have to close all roads, we can send that out to every cell phone, the county would get it. We can also do the reverse 911 calling and alert every household, basically, we run a march wall at every time. There's many facets of different things to this. There are a few communities who are paying for their own system right now. Hebron is paying go with the countywide system, those entities will be able to save their money that they're paying out for systems we're not people getting unless they choose to keep their own systems in their own communities. But we would have unlimited administrators to be able to allow them to look their own community systems as well.
Just the same system we were in next to.
It's pretty much yes. I mean, there are a lot of options as far as who you can go with, but they all operate.
There are free systems, but those are typically opt-in systems. If you don't opt in, then you're not part of that system. And I think to get 160,000 people in the county to opt in would be difficult to do.
The Smart 911 we do, I remember when that process all went through, and they were talking about the reverse 911 ability. Is that one of the companies now that you're looking at too?
Yes, they're another vendor out there that has a solution for mass notifications, and they integrate with what we already have with Smart 911.
You guys have it, we could go out and get different solutions, and get it out for you guys to think about that, or if you want to come out with it.
With your pleasure.
Okay, make a motion to give it up.
Why don't we go ahead and get some, see how it's gonna run and look to see where we can find the money.
It's certainly much cheaper now than it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was $100,000 back a few years.
And I recall with the Smart 911, as we went into that, they broke it down to like a 5-year payment plan type of thing or something like that.
I would have to go back.
Contract was, yeah, I don't remember those terms. Yeah, so.
And most of them are year to year, and they're offering, if we did time multi-year contract, the price on it would drop, so we have to name these companies.
Great, really appreciate it. I think it'd be a big aid to the community, to the whole thing. Great. Thank you very much. All right, what else? You got that? That's you. John Snyder, assessor. Going once, going twice. John Snyder is gone. All right. Oh, pardon. No, we're not going to, can't show up, we're not going to do it. Is this Christmas? Okay, we had a discussion set up here for the mailboxes. So the new highway superintendent, Hey, Dave. Thank you. As we understand it, when we have a problem, the snow gets too deep and the plows go by, and not the plow, but the snow takes out the mailboxes. Some of the county roads, when the snow is very heavy. We've had a system whereby we would have those people submit their claim to our insurance agent, who would review it and tell you if the material used and the type of construction warranted the dollar amount they were asking for. And now we've come to do a little bit more research, and we find out that there is no other county, municipality, or anybody in the state of Indiana who does such a thing and gives the residents money. They tell them, tough luck, fix it yourself. So, that's pretty much where we're at.
Yes, sir. What it's come down to is that, like you said, it's not been so much the plow damage, and it's been the snow coming off the plows. And this situation is because the majority of the mailboxes are in the right of way, and they are subject to everything that happens there. And sometimes we get blamed for something that's not even our fault. But with the snow coming off, and sometimes they do get them in the subdivisions where they are with the plows. What's happened, because we don't reach our deductible within the insurance, we end up having, because of the program that you've set up for the past years, we pay this out of our funds in the highway department. What my situation here is that we deal with a box from all the way from $550 down to $17. And I don't see how that is fair, you know, but I guess I'm also discriminating against somebody that lives in a more exclusive subdivision than somebody that lives out on a highway. But I think we should set a fee where there's a cutoff. Yes, we will pay for a new post, or we will pay for a box, but this is what we will allow as far as, you know, maybe, I'm just throwing it out there, maybe a $50 limit. INDOT, the state of Indiana, won't even talk to you about a mailbox. And this is state where they've got money, they've got more money than God, you know, I mean, because they deal it to us, you know, so we have trouble with that. I have trouble with that. They won't even talk, and even they would knock our mailbox down out of the, well, we took ours off the highway and made it around the corner, and the mail lady has been gracious enough to make the right-hand turn and deliver our mail. But we've had it hit several times out there at 1955 Safe Route 2, we had to put it back up. So I'm just looking for some fairness. I can't, to all 92 counties, I did a 4-county area. None of the adjoining counties here do anything. And Jasper has an 11-foot stake. They go from the edge of the road. If your mailbox is within that 11 foot at the edge of the road, too bad, so sad. If it's past that stake, they will work with you. That's Jasper only. So I'm just, if you would consider this, even if you're going to take it under advisement. But $18,000 over the last 4 years is a lot of money out of the budget that could be used somewhere else.
I agree, and I think you're awful generous. I think $25 is a pretty good number. I mean, to buy one of those mailboxes for $12 or something like that, and put a 4x4 in, and you're still $2 ahead.
Yeah. And another thing we've run into is that what really made this come to fruition, I guess, with me, was we just had a man come in about 2 weeks ago saying that because he worked, that he couldn't get in the time allotted because our time on the tort claim is 60 days from notification, have it returned in, and then we have 90 days to pay. So, I mean, it's 150 days from, but the way the auditor system and stuff had worked out, they get their checks pretty quick anymore. It doesn't go that long. But
isn't there one county that when you call them and tell them you lost your mailbox, they can bring you out a mailbox?
Lake County will bring you an interim mailbox, but I don't want to get into that either because those will come up missing. Those will just come up missing. It's kind of like our barricades we put out. You know, after barricades are put out, they come up gone. We find them years later in somebody's backyard.
Weston's thoughts? Motion is second, $25 is what you get for boxes for the taking.
Okay, thank you very much.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, David. Okay. All right, where are we at? Check. So, we need further transfers, is that right? Okay, additional transfers, and these, most of which came down at the council meeting last night. Additional $144,094 to 1220 medical life insurance to be used toward underfunded 2014 health insurance. Did I do them all and do a motion on all of them? Okay. Oh, no, we have to do a separate one. That was an addition. Motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion signed. Motion carried. Transfer $15,000 from 1120 hourly to 1220 medical life insurance. Transfer $50,000 from 1230 PERP to 1220 medical life insurance. Transfer $35,000 from 2110 office supplies to 1220 medical life insurance. Transfer $20,000 from 2210 gas and fuel lube to 2220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $7,000 from 2330 household and bedding to 12,000 to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $1185 from 3130 training and education to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $21,000 from 3220 telephone to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $3,500 from 3230 postage to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $9,000 from 3220 legal notices to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $1,200 from 3340 advertising to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $4,000 from 3410 all official bonds to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $27,000 from 3440 unemployment to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $2,000 from 3973 change of venue to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $1,800 from 3976 county property assessed benefits to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $3,000 from 3977 appraisers to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $3,900 from 3979 veterans burial to 1220 medical and life insurance. Transfer $3,000 from 3984 safety committee to 1220 medical and life insurance. And all these would be used toward underfunded 2014 health insurance. Transfer $30,000 from 1210 FICA to 3510 power. Transfer $20,000 from 1210 FICA to 3520 water and sewage to cover urine expenses. And there's a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an additional $2,526,698.04 to 1220 medical and life insurance to cover underfunded 2014 health insurance, and this would come from hospital interest 4902-0000-30. Motion. And a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You know, it should be noted, I think, that the commissioners were the only office that I understand that did this and complied with the council's request to give back. And there were other offices, believe me, that had a lot more money that they could give back than we did. Number one on the hit rate would be the sheriff's department. All right. What else? What else? We have on file the Treasurer's monthly report for November 2014. We have a request for approval from Mike Carbine of Valparaiso to use the courthouse grounds for the 37th annual car show. That's with Valpo Vets. The show date is June 20th, 2015, from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Request for approval of the official bond for Mark McKay, Assistant Porter County Highway Supervisor. The bond is in the amount of $8,500. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Request for approval for official bond for the Executive Director, Planner 1, Zoning Administrator 1, Zoning Administrator 11, Permit Input Specialist, and Building Commissioners for the Porter County Plan Commission. Each position has a bond in the amount of $8,500. Motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have a request for approval from the Porter County Auditor Bob Werslinski to increase the contract of Hannon by $5,600 to satisfy all outstanding bills for the work completed by Mr. Hannon up to the present. This will complete the contract with Hannon. And this money has already been appropriated by the county council to be paid. Our job is to simply make the contract, add $5,600 to the do not exceed amount of the existing contract. Is that correct? All right. What's your pleasure?
I'll make the motion.
Motion. Second. Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. Is that it? Did I miss anything? Is it? Huh? Oh, I don't think we had any report. We did have a report. No? Okay, so now we're going to do. Yes. No, thank you. Thanks for being here, Bob. We have, Planning Commission rezone rural residential to that industrial? No. Institutional, I think, that's what, you need to put an S on it. Cross Point Christian Church Incorporated, second reading. And there was no one who spoke in favor or opposite. There were those that spoke in favor, but no one spoke in opposition to this. And it was directed to us from the planning commission with a 6-0 recommendation, as I recall. Correct. Correct. And I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the recount on Cross Point Christian Church from RR to institutional.
Motion is second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, anything else? We need to do one thing here. We would like to present Nancy Adams with this plaque, remembering her service to Porter County. It says it as Porter County Board of Commissioners, in grateful appreciation of your 4 years of service to the citizens of Porter County.
I really enjoyed this, and I got to meet so many people. Thank you.
Good on there. Anything else? Anybody else wish to address this group? Okay, then we do this once a year. We'll entertain a motion for adjournment. Typically, we simply go to recess, but once a year, we adjourn it. That's today, because it's the last